Yeah, let's get started. Historically, live coding demos always go great, so give me some grace here. Yeah, so what you get when you get to the repo, this is what you're going to see at first. Scroll down to the README and follow the installation guide. I've already done some of these steps along the way, so you'll have to do them. For example, the brew install of UV, cloning the Git repo itself, and then going into the directory once you have it there. And with that, let me emulate what it will look like. I think y'all can see my terminal. Yes, I'm going to take silence as a yes. So open up your terminal, and you're going to have to run the command uv run.py. Once you're inside of the CodeAssist directory, you'll get something like this to show up. You'll get the big CodeAssist logo, and then the first time around, this will take a little while longer because we're getting these Docker containers set up. I've already run it, so it's a little faster the second time around. You'll also, the first time around, be asked for a Hugging Face token. This is just so you have somewhere to store your models after the fact. Super users can go find a special flag for skipping the Hugging Face token, but you don't need to do
Real
that.
quick, don't want to interrupt you,
It's
buddy.
faster.
Xavier, can we make the sharing screen full screen for everyone? I think some folks are having trouble seeing it. Are we able to have that override us?
That's I don't know that I can override. Users can click on it and it should maximize.
Okay, cool. If you want to paste the instructions on how to do that, we were getting a ton of questions.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, with Discord, you just have to click on the actual screen, and then it gives you the option of focusing on that one. Because I think most people are technically supposed to be able to stream at once for things like games. So anyhow, are we ready to keep going?
Yep. Sorry about that.
No worries. So yeah, once you actually run that uv run.py command, like I said, you get these things that come up. Eventually, you'll have something that says a browser should have opened, and it gives you this link, which is localhost at port 3000. If you don't have it open automatically, just put that into your browser. You should be ready to rock and roll after that. But in my case, it did just show up. So let me go ahead and do that. What you'll see is a tab like this. Okay. Those who have done any LeetCode, you'll be familiar with this general setup. It might even trigger a little bit of PTSD because it's very common to be something that you do in coding interviews. Try to approach CodeAssist not as an interview. The goal is not to be moving as fast as possible. It's not to solve as many of these questions as possible, etc. The goal is to train an assistant. So go into it really honestly, like chilling out. Try to have fun with it. Try to just interact with your assistant, get your assistant to do what you want. And I'll go more into that in a second. So generally, you'd read the question, and I'll try to just do it real quick. But let's see if I can actually read what I'm supposed to do here. Give me 1 second.
While he's doing that, whoever
Okay,
shared the what
cool.
looked like a Gensyn customized GPU box in the chat, that thing is sick. Very cool. Go ahead, kid.
Okay. Yeah, so I think this one I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through the whole code exercise. The main thing is to show you guys CodeAssist. But yeah, the key here is as I start typing, I can do something like this. Leave a comment and say, find the letter in letter where ord L is less than or equal to target, something like that. And once you press enter and you start typing and you give it time, you'll notice in the bottom left of this screen that I coded in, there's little 3 dots that go back and forth. What happened there is that's showing you that the model's thinking. One of 2 things will happen. Once it finishes that little flashing icon, eventually a code like text will just appear, which is where the assistant has chosen to try to assist you. Or it'll just kind of go flat. If it goes flat, that's the assistant saying, I have no idea what you're doing, which is a feature, actually. It's what we call no-opping. And basically, your assistant has no idea what the question is. It only sees what you've been typing. So what you've typed up here is the only thing that the assistant knows about in this world. And so if it doesn't know enough about the problem to try to solve it or even try to add anything, it just says, all right, can you give me some more context and you do something? Once it thinks it knows enough to help you, it'll start giving you code like it just did with me. Anyhow, so the assistant throws in the code, and you can do a few things. You can leave it there, you can delete it, you can edit part of it. So I can say, no, actually, this should have been targets 0 or 1 or whatever. By doing this and interacting with this assistant organically, a few things can happen. Oh, by the way, another pro tip while I use this is that if you press Shift and Space, you can pause the assistant, which is the same as also clicking this little button down here. So I'm going to pause it so I can talk through this. So as you interact with the assistant, you can delete its lines. If you delete it immediately, that's a punishment to the assistant. If you delete it eventually, that's a smaller punishment, but still a punishment. If you leave the line, it's a reward for it. Using these signals, it's going to try and learn what you like, what you don't like, how to interact with you, and so forth. And eventually, after I record a few of these episodes, it should start getting tailored to me, but not immediately, only after I exit out of the tab and Control C, but I'll show you that in a second. So I'm getting ahead of myself here, sorry. But yeah, so I interact with the assistant. I click submit in this case to see if it actually solved the problem. If I think it did, it throws up this error window. You can move that up and down. This error window is going to be telling you things like what the test cases are that I passed one test case or two of them, you can see here, out of 50. It tells me what the input is and what the output was. I seem to not have caught some situation. And yeah, what I think is happening is I need to do something like this: return letters, and then let's see if it does it for me. But yeah, the idea is just that the assistant will get better. See, it just did something really useless for me there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and say 0. Oop, what did I do here? And I'll submit that. Okay, now I have some letter target. What? Oh right, I forgot I changed that. That's my bad. All right, so you see this error code down here that tells you that there was gives you some idea of the error that happened. And let's try to submit that and see what happens. Has not solved it yet, but we've made it through a lot of test cases here. Anyhow, the idea is that once I record, eventually I will solve this. I will get a prompt that tells me, hey, do you want to move on to another question, or do you want to go train? You don't need to actually finish the questions, but I do recommend getting through about 5 questions where you earnestly go back and forth with the assistant, give it some data to try, and then yeah, once you get done, I'm gonna ignore all the solve bullying by Ben here. Not doing the LeetCode. I don't actually know what the question is. I think we're pretty close though. It's driving me nuts. I know we're actually pretty close. But anyhow, so I'm gonna cancel out. I'm ready to train. In this case, I would you go back to your terminal once you're ready, and you hit Control C. When you hit Control C, it's going to it's going to basically wait for the tester queue, which is basically going through all the actions that you took with your assistant. It's going to check if, did it compile, did it do these things, which is then useful for the model's training itself. And once it gets done with this, it's going to kick up the training script. It'll go through a round of training. It'll train on the episodes that you recorded, nobody else's, nothing else. And the next time you start up using uv run.py, it'll actually be your model that was trained on your episodes that you recorded. That baseline model that I just used is one that I trained using just very generic sort of behavior. I've been describing it as like the most boring assistant possible. It just kind of does stuff. The idea is just to get you started, get the ball rolling, letting you kind of start interacting with it and give it the signals that you need it to give. I didn't want something that was too slow and non-responsive. I want something that was really snappy and kept putting things on screen so that you can correct it and make it so that it starts doing what you want. But yeah, so with that, it finished training. You see that uploaded to Hugging Face, and I can run uv run.py again. And it will open up the browser in a second. And we'll have a different assistant this time. In this case, the assistant, I have a feeling, will only be writing code because I let it do whatever it wanted. And I think it only wrote code this time. So if we give it a second, I can show you what that looks like again. I can say, do something, please. And let's see what it does. I have a feeling it takes about 3 seconds, by the way, after you stop doing anything for it to do something. Oh, it actually no-opt. That's something that could happen as well. That's because I didn't give it many signals. I can try to say, we want kids with most candy. Let's try that and see if it reacts to me. Yeah, because I basically gave it very little signals. I actually deleted some of its white space and so on. I punished it. It's afraid to do anything. So what would happen now is that it's going to know up a few times. In this scenario, what I suggest you do is just honestly record episodes where you actually just let it know up. If you have an assistant that's too scared to move because you punished it too much, that's okay. Just try to give it stuff until it does do it. There's actually a penalty in there where if it no ops many times in a row, it goes from being a very soft reward to being a very good like a very very bad punishment. And look, it solved it all on its own. So yeah, there is this. See, it says problem solved successfully, and I have these two options. I can stay on here, optimize the problem if I really feel like it. I could go try another problem, or I could go train. Any of those are options. But yeah, that's CodeAssist. I'll leave it at that for now. But please check it out. Send us any feedback. There'll be more details soon, but we're going to try and do a lot of this in the open and include everyone. So send us your feedback. We want to make this. We want to learn how you like to interact with your assistant. We want to learn what you want from the app and so forth.